Welcome back to Football Park, and there you see the lights in the background here. It's a magnificent stadium, and it's a wonderful night for football. Certainly a great way to start the 1985 football season. Already the upset of the year with Woodville defeating Glenelg by 1 point, and now of course we see the replay of last year's grand final. A very good crowd here tonight, Ian.
Oh, superb performance, and of course these two clubs there are absolutely knee-deep in history. They wherever they go, I reckon if they played on the top of Ayers Rock, you'd get a crowd. I really do. They're Norwood and Port Adelaide, as you said, last year's grand final. Big crowd, as the Channel 9 cameras are showing you. The ground is in absolutely superb condition. The temperature's around about 22 to 23. It's really is in top shape.
And David Mackay, will be interesting to see what happens between Craig Balme and Tim Evans.
Yes, that should be a magnificent duel. You could almost call that the battle of the heavyweights, Ken, couldn't you? Craig Balme, of course, on several occasions last year had the better of Evans, but then Evans, as we know, is a great goal kicker. He's kicked over 100 goals in 3 of the last 4 seasons, and that's an outstanding effort in itself.
And what about that start last year, KG, to the grand final when Craig Balme and Evans, it was on, and it's just about to go on right now.
I was down in the rooms before the game, and Neil Balme was warming up, throwing punches in the change room, so I wonder whether he's going to take that out onto the field.
There's Tim Evans, up goes Craig Balme, and he doesn't shake the hand. He knocked it away. Balme, he's smiling. He loves it, elbows.
Oh, it's something else, isn't it? But on this occasion, there was no replay of the grand final of last year. There was no fisticuffs, but it was just a touch, and just a touch too little.
Well, there's the siren to commence the big one. Port Adelaide versus the Redlegs. And down goes the football. Hall, Johnson, ball to ground. Kick towards centre half forward. Socket on by Williams. Strong body work as Port Adelaide coming through. A high kick towards goal. I think he's bottled it. The well in the umpire he has. Great football there by Mark Lawson. The former Collingwood player, top bit of football.
Well, that's the way to start a game, isn't it? As Port Adelaide are going to the southern end of the ground here at Football Park, and that's the end, which is into the breeze. Mark Dawson, clear, rode the bump perfectly, left foots it, got the distance, got the accuracy, got the full points, and it's Port Adelaide with first blood. Here it is again. Forward. Here he comes. Rode the bump perfectly, left foots it, and straight through. Pressure personified.
Back towards centre half forward. Strong body work by Norwood, coming away towards Harrison of Port Adelaide. Playing the ball cleverly. Fosdyke in pursuit, overruns the ball. Handball away. There's an opportunity now for Port Adelaide through Geneva. Finally, it's Fosdyke towards the centre wing, off hands. Williams again in towards full forward, looking for Evans. Balme there. Balme, top mark by Craig Balme.
Craig Balme, last line of defence. Cool as you like. Gets on with the play. Looks across for Fosdyke. Coming in and trying to gain possession. Very close to the boundary line is Norwood's Glenn Van Beneker. And the free kick goes the way of Port Adelaide. It's taken very quickly by Arlen Kennedy. Towards the right half forward flank goes his kick, a free kick, and it will be taken by Norwood, and it very quickly taking the ball away is Justin Scanlon.
His kick towards centre wing. Johnson went up high, couldn't take the mark. There'll be a free kick. It'll go the way of Port Adelaide. Young Darren Smith, number 28, plays on to Bradley. Towards centre half forward. Big John Hall from behind. Thumps it away. Thomas with a hurried kick away gives Harrison from Port Adelaide the opportunity. It sits for him. Beautiful work on that occasion by Curtis the Shepherd. Towards half forward, and there's Mr. Magic. Russell Ebert steadies. John Hall, 37, thumps it towards goal, and a minor score there to Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide 1-1-7. The Redlegs yet to score.
They've been doing most of the attacking tonight, Ken. They're 1-1-7, they lead Norwood, no score. It's been all down in their forward line, and they look like they're ready to bombard the goals here tonight. Remember, that's kicking into the breeze that's against the wind, and they've done an outstanding job so far.
Immediately, Balme brings the ball around the outer side of the oval. It's an end-to-end kick, not good. Michael Aney couldn't take it. Ebert's across there, appeared to drop it. The umpire lets it go on. His brother Craig is there on the bottom of the pack. That's number 8 for Port Adelaide, Craig Ebert. And the umpire has picked out a free kick. That's Balme. Flanked there by runner Ross Porritt. Back to the action though. Michael Aney has possession. McIntosh. Love that player. Kicks the ball out towards the left half forward flank. Well led, well done. As David Payne, the exciting recruit of 84, got it over the captain of the side in Roberts. And what a high compliment to Roberts. Started his football at West Torrens, went to Richmond, kicked 6 goals in playing for Victoria, came back to South Australia playing for Norwood, and here's the chance. 45 metres out from goals. He can kick the distance and he can kick the accuracy too, and we'll have to wait for this one. And I think Devine has. Yes, he has. He's banged it through. What a goal.
Yes, a great start there by the Norwood captain. That'll lift the Redlegs 100 miles. A magnificent mark, lead, and what a superb kick David McCoy is, Robert.
You'll find tonight that the Norwood players will all look for Roberts. He rarely misses. He's a magnificent player in the twilight of his career, perhaps. The injuries have crippled him, and I know he's looking at plastic hips in the next 4 or 5 years. It may even be sooner, but isn't he a magnificent kick? He never misses.
Back with the action. Taylor played for Collingwood last year. Kicks it down towards the centre half forward position. It's all Port Adelaide. A long hand pass clear to Harris. Harris on the half back flank. Drives it forward. Johnson over the top. Johnson takes the mark. Port Adelaide's David Baker. It is an actual fact, not Johnson. They're very big players. Marnie for Port Adelaide. Wayne Marnie. Craig Ebert. Ebert down towards the half forward flank. Balme and Evans. Neither of them can take it. Thomas, Keith Thomas. Dishes out the hand pass. Coming in there was McIntosh, and hard too was McIntosh. But it was Marnie on the bottom of the pack who'll get the free kick. Wayne Marnie, a little groggy. Feels a little sick. Well, I guess he would too, because McIntosh, as far as I'm concerned, is a human tank. Marnie won't kick the distance. It goes right towards the square. Evans up there. Craig Balme there as well. A rush behind.
Yes, good work there by Marnie. Of course, he's had a wonderful season in the baseball world. Now, of course, transferring his talents to the football arena and doing it very, very well indeed. This is Balme with the kick-off coming towards the grandstand side. Or pushing the back, goes unnoticed, does it? Yes, it does. Michael only should have got the free kick. But it's young Darren Smith, that blonde hair. Back towards centre half forward he goes. A push away by a Port Adelaide player goes unnoticed again. Anthony Williams out wide. This is Mark Lawson again to Marnie. In towards goal. Right on the goal umpire. Just offline. Minor score to Port Adelaide, doing all the attacking at the moment. And the Magpies advance to 1-3-9. Norwood 1 goal.
It's only really the Norwood defence that's keeping them out. They're doing all the attacking, Port Adelaide. But the Norwood defenders are desperate, and that's been their trait for some time.
Round the outer side of the oval goes the kick, but it's Ebert. He looks sharp. Always looks sharp, Ebert. Kicks down towards full forward, looking for Evans, finds him. Huge goal scorer is Tim Evans for Port Adelaide. Holds the club record, and he is 40 metres out from goals. Looking at the flags on the outer side of the oval, it's still a strong breeze that he has to kick into. 224 games to Tim Evans. 3 or 4 paces, deliberate shot for goals. The distance is there, but the accuracy is not. One behind.
And Tim Evans wouldn't like that. He likes to kick goals. There he is there, getting instructions from his coach, Russell Levitt. The kickoff comes towards McIntosh. Familiar styles, dummies beautifully. Stocks down. A rough diamond, but very, very effective. Towards centre wing. Young Darren Smith grabbed high to Taylor. Gallagher, Bardaniga, good football Norwood, towards full forward, super football, unfortunately hit the post, and a minor score there to Norwood, 1-1-7, Port Adelaide 1-4-10.
It was very well shepherded there by Button in the forward pocket. The ball came in and he bodied the other player out. They were just a bit unlucky that it didn't go through for a goal.
Ball back into play by Harris, the full-back, towards the half-back flank it goes, and there's a good mark taken on the outer side of the oval by Martin Leslie. Martin Leslie, strong-built player, was suggested that he might go to Victoria. Off hands, McIntosh, magnificent hand pass for the ball to Thomas. Down ground and forward it goes. And there's a good mark taken by big Neil Button. Neil Button, he's had good pre-season work, and he certainly does look in good shape. Neil Button is only 35 metres out from goals, dead in front, 260 games. To his credit, the big chap. Moving in, very casually guides and glides the ball straight through the middle. Good game, top game.
Score here at the moment, it's Norwood by 3 points.
Three points the difference as it's Evans on a long lead, got away from Balme on that occasion. So Norwood lead by 3 points, but they could just as well lose the lead after this kick from Tim Evans. His last shot for goals was a point. But he's in scoring distance. Straight into the wind he's going to kick. It's not quite a gale, but it's a strong breeze as the kick from Evans again will make the distance, but will not make the accuracy. One behind.
It's interesting to note that both teams are playing a similar style game, keeping all their forwards right back on the half-forward line, leaving the opening for Evans at one end and Button at the other.
Balme to the outer side. Norwood using the ball, goes towards Payne if it sits for him. It does. Tremendous young footballer David Payne, a long kick towards full forward Button. Free kick will go Port Adelaide's way. It will be taken by Benny Harris. Tremendous season last year, and Benny Harris. And plenty of time, goes to the outer side. It goes big John Hall, can't hold the mark. Hard body work, and the umpire will call for a bounce.
Sides just having a little bit of trouble getting into their free-flowing game. That will eventuate, I can assure you of that. Live football coming to you from Football Park, Channel 9, bringing you the Escort Cup, second game of the night, Port Adelaide and Norwood. Trying to skid forward and gain possession of the ball was Brenton Owens, and he'll get a free kick for Port Adelaide. Around the outer side of the oval goes that player's kick. It's knocked off hands. Trying to come clear with it was Kelly, who put his teammate in some trouble, and the free kick is going to go the way of Port Adelaide. Ginniver kicking towards the centre half forward position. Evans and Craig Balme. Balme won on that occasion.
It's going to be an interesting duel between those two players tonight. Both have started very well. Evans with a couple of shots for goal, and Balme with a couple of very strong marks.
Long kick from Balme now, right into over the centre of the ground it goes. Craig Bradley. Superb footballer is Bradley. Forwards the ball. Free kick. Tackle was high, and it's going to go the way of Justin Scanlon.
Scanlon from the half-back flank. Centre wing looking for Hall. That's the way it goes. He takes the mark. Big John Hall. McIntosh. Beautiful work by Marnie. Blocked off the boot. Clever football by Thomas. He goes towards the half-forward flank, up hands. Back to McIntosh. He's covering walk down than Burke and Wills. Well, here's a clash. Harrison tackled by Gallagher. The loose ball is gathered by Payne. In towards full forward. There's been a relayed free kick. This will give Neil Button the opportunity. McIntosh. Not a picture of sartorial splendour, but certainly very, very effective. This is Button. 20 metres from goal, almost directly in front. Kicks on its way, he makes no mistake.
Goal scored, Norwood move along. Norwood 3 goals 1 to Port Adelaide 1 goal 5. Points the difference with Norwood on top, and so they should be, because they're kicking with the use of a 3 or 4 goal breeze. But the ball is being taken out of the ground by Craig Ebert down towards centre half forward. Kelly breaking clear, does it very well. Normally plays an attack, this fellow, wearing the famous number of 28. Good play here from Harris of Port Adelaide, carting the ball over towards Marnie. Marnie tackled very quickly, not Marnie. Tall, it's Bradley. Hair a little longer than last year. Kicks in towards the centre of the ground. Comes off hands. Ball to the ground it goes. A clever play there by Alan Kennedy. Umpire's pricked out a free kick. And I can assure you of one thing, that both these sides are serious.
A kick towards centre half forward. Oh, it's a top mark by Port Adelaide. And of course has been taken by Williams. Poor kick on that occasion, however. An opportunity out here for Norwood to clear. In trouble, the ball is loose, holding the ball. All of play on. That's good umpiring. Back towards full forward. Evans up high. Over the top, big Neil Hine. Hine the mark. Coming out wide, looking out here for Gallagher, Norwood. Kennedy coming in, taps it on cleverly. Back towards Scanlon. Gallagher. Short to Thomas at centre half back. Dummies to handball. Finds Lester Ross. Ross is met quite heavily by Marnie. The ball goes on towards centre half forward. Here's an opportunity for Payne. Gives the ball to Taylor. High one-on-one. Harris. Button off hands. Oh, not a good bounce for Roberts. Oh, well shepherded by Button. Allows Robert to gain possession. Back onto his left foot. You won't see better football than that anywhere. Robert butters a goal.
And that's why he's one of the top footballers in the state. He was shepherded well by Button. He swung back on his left foot and he popped it through, and that showed real class.
So Norwood 4 goals, 1-25 to Port Adelaide 1-5-11. They were a little slow to start with Norwood, but my word, they have come back in the last 8 to 10 minutes, and this is why, as David Mackay has told you, this is why Neville Roberts is a champion. He was never apprehended. The left foot kick was there. It was a snap. It was a beauty.
Back at centre with the umpire. Bounce down. Hine. Thumped away to McIntosh, to Gallagher. Smothered off the boot superbly by Port Adelaide. Oh, there's a clash of bodies. Down goes Kennedy. Hip and shoulder. Scanlon ducks the head. Lester Ross is put down. This is fierce football at the moment. Traditional rivals. No love lost between either side as Ross. Towards centre wing. Oh, Lachlan a top mark. Peter Lachlan. Unfortunately, he's been dogged with injuries throughout his career, but he's a good footballer. Gillis put down with the hip and shoulder. A kick towards full forward, pumped away by Leslie. Roberts is on the ground. Shot by Button. Right on the goal umpire. That's the goal. And it's all Norwood here at Footy Park. That's his third. And Norwood at the moment advanced to 5-1. Port Adelaide 1-5.
Points the difference with Norwood on top after Button got that goal. Marnie kicking down towards the half-forward flank, looking for the fast lead from Evans. Couldn't capture the ball. Here's the opportunity, though, and a snapper shot by Tim Ginniver is out of play on the full. So it'll be Balme that'll bring this ball back into play. Keith Thomas, crackerjack footballer is Keith Thomas. On the half-back flank, it's kick number 4 already in this first quarter. 16 minutes of it have gone, and bear in mind there's no time on. It's a 21-minute straight quarter. Wayne Marnie is a very excitable little footballer. Number 14 for Port Adelaide. Little rover. Kicks the ball forward. Lawson keeps it in play and does it very well down to Evans. Well done, Balme. Fisted the ball out of play, and that's good defensive football. 31-11, 20 points the difference.
So far, Jennifer's been in everything. He's been part of nearly every forward thrust, and he's pushing the ball in and forward and diving into everything.
Border ground, Jennifer again on the bottom of the pack. Also there is Craig Balme, but umpire Hilton will call for a bounce down. Only about 20 metres from the Magpies' goal. And there's Neil Balme, the coach of the Redlegs, chewing gum, giving it a real thrashing. Goes to Lawson. He's done a couple of useful things. Marnie, all courage, a snapshot offline. Another minor score there to Port Adelaide. They go to 1-6-12. trailed the Redlegs 5-1-31.
Not good kicking from Port Adelaide. Admittedly, they are kicking into the breeze, but they've had 7 shots and they've managed 1 goal 6, whereas where Norwood have had 6 shots and have managed 5 goals 1. Vardaniga gets it across. Thomas again, moving the ball down towards the left half forward flank, looking for Lachlan. Well held. Smith is there. Michael Aney, well played, Michael Aney. Back it goes to Lachlan. This is good football. A promising movement down the grandstand side. Back towards centre half forward, looking for Roberts. Couldn't find that player. Comes off hands. Martin Leslie's across there. Going in there is little Payne, David Payne. Really did have a sparkling year in 1984. I was fortunate enough to see him make his debut against North Adelaide, and if my memory serves me correctly, he kicked 4 goals, 1 on that occasion. Really is an exciting footballer of the future. Comes off hands, taken by Keith Thomas, who really is at everything. Ben Harris going forward, couldn't take it. Here's the opportunity, though, for Port Adelaide to relieve and go around the outer side of the oval. But there's a good strong mark, or should have been a mark, should have been a free kick. Now there was a stranglehold, and it should go the way of Port Adelaide. No, it doesn't. It's going to be taken by Fosdyke. Fosdyke down ground finds David Payne, and David Payne will take the kick from 65 metres out from goals.
Payne towards full forward. It's found Rocky Roberts. It wasn't a good kick. Roberts making perfect position. Looks remarkably fit. There was some thought halfway through this year that he would only play half a season. And you see him playing, of course, the entire season, and also captain. Taking plenty of time. Well, it's by another goal to Norwood. Norwood 6-1-37. Port Adelaide 1-6-12.
Well, there's Neil Balme, and he looks a happy man, and as he should. Neville Roberts with 3 goals early. It's only 19.5 minutes into the first quarter, and he's kicked 3, and he's doing everything right down there. He's creating opportunities and openings for the Norwood side.
And this is David Payne, as I told you. He kicked the ball from some 65 metres out. As Ken Cunningham indicated, it wasn't a strong kick. But Roberts is a champion, is always in the right position.
Big crowd here at Footy Park. Magnificent night for football. Norwood 6-1, Port Adelaide 1-6. 25 points the difference. 1 minute to go in this first quarter. The replay of the 1984 grand final. Up they go, ball to ground. McIntosh handballs away. Tries to find Thomas. He's ridden to ground by Steve Curtis. And umpire Hilton will call for a bounce.
I want to tell you about that McIntosh. He is the best handballer in Australia, without a doubt. He handballs like a bullet.
Bounce. Thomas thumps it away. Fosdyke out to Hine. Scanlon, the running player. Norwood looking a million dollars. There's the siren. And at quarter time, with 6 goals, 137. Port Adelaide 1-6-12. Neil Balme would have to be delighted with that first quarter of football, David Mackay.
Well, you've got to remember, Ken, that Port have still got the wind to come in the second quarter, and as we stated earlier in the night, it's blowing a gale down there, and 6 goals won may not be enough for Norwood at this stage.
We'll come back with more action from Football Park shortly.
Roberts, mate. 3 each. Yeah, mate.
Yeah, I'll stand it. You get the gentleman to move that way.
What? This way?
Yes, that's right. And if you move in a bit, please, Carls.
All right.
Still on the break, or you get that? You got the level roll.
Which one was? Yeah, one.
Last 30 seconds, guys. There you go. Yes.
6116, isn't it?
Yep. 20 seconds. What have you got next? 15. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7. Here we go. 5 seconds. Welcome back to Football Park for this great match in the Escort Cup between Port Adelaide and Norwood. At quarter time, it's Norwood 6 goals 1, leading Port Adelaide 1 goal 6. And after a rather slow start, Rick, by Norwood, they really came back strongly in that latter part of the first quarter.
Neville Roberts and Neil Button kicking 3 goals each. One of Roberts' goals was absolutely fantastic. And Norwood have started now. Look at this goal here on your screen here. He gets into a little bit of trouble here, but he just weaves his way out and goes onto his left foot, hopefully here. No, yes, he does. Comes over now onto the left foot. A magnificent goal, and this is the sort of goal, Das, that wins games.
Well, he was never retarded at any time in that passage of play, and he just kept his cool, and that just personifies, doesn't what Neville Roberts is all about. He's so cool, collected, and such a great inspiration to all around him.
And also, Das, if he gets hold of the ball within 50 metres, he gets a goal every time.
Michael Taylor started slowly in his return to South Australian football.
Yes, I haven't sort of seen much of him in that quarter, but he's just sort of adjusting to the different sort of pace, and he's a class player. He's had a lot of time in the VFL, so I'm sure that he'll come up.
Rick there, the goal kicker. 3 to Roberts, and in fact it's 3 to Button, not Vardeniger. Lawson got 1 for Port Adelaide, and Lawson looks a fine player too.
He certainly does, and also Tim Evans had a couple of fine opportunities, although the wind is blowing pretty heavily down there, Das, so if he'd have converted on those 2 goals, could have been a different story.
Well, that's the situation then, Rick. 6-1 Norwood, 1-6 Port Adelaide. Play about to commence in the second quarter. Let's go to our commentators.
Thank you, David, and yes, it is Norwood 6 goals 1, 37, Port 1, 6, 12. Away they go as Port Adelaide, kicking now with the use of the breeze. Trying to gain possession of it, is quite successful too, as Hellier got it over towards Balme, fumbled, get a free kick, will he? The whistle is gone. Umpires tonight are John Hilton and Rick Kinnear, and Balme it is to take the free kick. He's in the right half back flank. Second game of the Escort Cup. Michael Aney was there, Michael Taylor, Daniger, Curtis. Strong back pocket player. He's bundled to the line, and it's out of play. So the score is the same as it was at quarter time. 6-1 to 1-6, Norwood on top.
Steve Curtis certainly showed a great deal of courage there. Head down and went straight for the ball. Vardeniger trying to crash the pack. Michael only appeared to get a push in the back, and that's the way the umpire saw it. The umpire on that occasion was Rick Kinnear. Jimmy Michaelini on the half-forward flank. With the ball now towards full forward, looking for Roberts, pushing the back, went to Martin Leslie, and umpire Rick Kinnear right on the spot under their new umpiring director this year, Des Foster. The umpiring's been pretty good at the moment. Leslie goes to the outer side ground to young Darren Smith, draws the player, looking for Benny Harris. Not a good handball, but it sits for Harris. Past the player, did it well, goes to Kennedy towards centre half forward. It's a lovely kick. John Hall is there, can't take the mark. There'll be Nord coming away up defence. Balme towards centre wing. A loose ball at the moment. Harrison pumps the ball away. Thomas is there. Marnie nose over the ball. Courage runs past 2 players towards full forward, looking for Evans. Can't gain possession. Comes back to Evans. He's been a quiet player. Loose handball, tries to find Evans. Evans does it. Evans towards full forward. Balme thumped away by Hall. There's an opportunity for Harvey. Can't get the kick. Strong body work at the moment, and the umpire John Hilton will call for a bounce in the full forward line for Port Adelaide.
Desperate play by the Norwood side here in their defence, and Port Adelaide just can't seem to break away.
That full forward pocket now as the ball. Lester Ross is up there, number 10. Tim Evans has got possession. Tried for the hand pass. Here's the chance for Ginnivan. Out goes a beautiful hand pass. Further one. Here's the chance now for Port Adelaide. Off by Mark Lawson, who's kicked 1, and now he's kicked 2.
Well, Mark Lawson there showing what a valuable acquisition he's going to be to this Port Adelaide side this year. He's a stocky little player, and certainly when he gets his opportunities, especially in that occasion there, when the ball's coming out from Ebert, handballs out over to the Port Adelaide player. He in turn over to Bradley. Bradley sees him coming onto his right. He fires at the goal, and it's a beautiful bit of work.
Score at the moment, Norwood 6-1, Port Adelaide 2-6.
Back in the centre as it's Smith, tackled high, got the long hand pass forward. Streaming down there was Stephen Knight. McIntosh is there as well. Out it comes, Bradley couldn't gain possession of the ball. Trying to get it and falling over for is Peter Johnson, number 23 for Norwood, a player that I've not seen in league ranks before. In fact, the Norwood side is very nearly their grand final side of last year. Umpires Kinnear, that's Rick Kinnear now, supported by Hilton. Whistle is gone, free kick, and it's going to go the way of Port Adelaide's. And it will be taken here by number 29 for Port Adelaide, who is David Baker.
Baker towards centre half forward. From behind is Evans, but a free kick will go the way of Big John Hall. Over to Thomas. Thomas to the outer side ground. Lawson, Lester Ross. Oh, top mark. Great mark by Mark Lawson. Goes to Curtis. Bounds away with pace into the pocket, looking for Knight. Over the top went Hellier, and the ball out of bounds, and David Mackay, should I say Rick Davies, great player Mark Lawson.
Yes, he's certainly shaping up to be one of Port Adelaide's better players on the ground.
Ball back into play, it comes off hands, a snap towards Balme is there to just run the ball through for a minor score. So Norwood at the 4.5-minute mark of this, the second quarter, 6 goals, 1 Neil Hine line, just warming up to come on the ground. It's Norwood 6-1 to Port Adelaide 2-7. Ball back into play, goes out of bounds without anyone touching it, so it'll be a compulsory free kick. It'll be taken by number 27 for Port Adelaide, Alan Gill. Gill puts it back from whence it came, off hands. Craig Ebert was there. Wayne Marnie, number 14, trying to gain possession of the ball. He's got a touch of temper about him as Wayne Marnie. It'll be taken here by Kelly towards a half-back flank. Goes the big fella's kick. And there's a good grab. Very good grab taken by Port Adelaide's David Baker.
Baker on the half-forward flank, runs around the man on his mark. His long kick in towards full forward, looking for Evans. Balme, the thump away. Comes towards Bar Daniger. Handballs to Ross. That's good football, Norwood. Back to Thomas. Bar Daniger again. Shoveled away to Fosdyke. His kick finds the open spaces at centre half forward. Button there. Throws it out towards David Payne. Stephen Curtis in front. Should get a free kick. He will. Held but not in possession. And Stephen Curtis plays on quickly. Goes towards Darren Harris to Martin Leslie. Pumped away. Loose ball. David Payne for Norwood. Out wide towards Philip Gallagher. Keeps the ball in play, or does he? No, out of bounds. And a throw in outer side ground.
37-19. Norwood still on top. 6 minutes have gone to the second quarter. The pack of players across there gathering to contest the boundary throw in. 31 is Michael Laney. Got the palm 2. Knocked it down very cleverly. No one can capitalise on it. The umpire's giving them plenty of time to go on with the play. And there's plenty of pushing and shoving. Port Adelaide, of course, David Baker. He doesn't mind a little bit of physical stuff either, as the ball very quickly, Port Adelaide ripped the ball down in towards a full forward position. Back there was Evans. He judged it well. I thought he was a little lucky, but he's got the mark anyway. It makes no difference. Tim Evans has yet to score a major. He's 2 behinds from his 2 direct shots for goals. So if you work on the law of averages, he must get this one. And they need it too, because we've nearly got 7 minutes gone in the second quarter. Tim Evans, deliberate shot for goals. It's on its way. It's certainly long enough. I don't know whether it's straight enough. No, it's not. 1 behind.
Ian, most times when Tim Evans starts off and kicks his first goal, he usually gets 8 or 9. But if he starts off with a miss, most times he'll miss most of the day. And it seems to be coming out that way tonight.
Tim Evans has kicked 3 points. Balme. Grandstand side, top mark by Michael Laney. Through from behind, over young Darren Smith. Handballs to Scanlon, towards centre wing, a loose ball. Payne, strong body work by Port Adelaide. Marnie, comes towards Ebert. Back to Marnie. Marnie put down after he kicked the ball. McIntosh the culprit. Advanced free kick. To young Ginnivan. And McIntosh spoken to by the umpire.
Not much in that, I don't think, to be honest with you. But anyway, as far as Port Adelaide are concerned, they've got the Free kick in their favour, and it's Tim Ginniver who's booting it right down towards Evans. Knocked away from him at the last minute by Craig Balme, who's doing good work. So the scoreboard is Norwood 6-1 to Port Adelaide 2-9. A comment from Rick Davies.
Big Craig Balme seems to have Tim Evans' measure from the last year's grand final.
Yes, he certainly does, and that's Craig Balme as the ball comes back into play. And the umpire's Kinnear is in the right position, and he'll bounce the ball outside of some 25 metres out from the goal. Port Adelaide going to the northern end of the ground as McIntosh got his head over the top of the ball, as he always has. Oops, up there he comes with a little bit of protection. Anthony Williams is not too concerned about that. He would if it connected. He's rough and he's tough. He's McIntosh, and he's good. Anthony Williams. Knocked away. Not pretty football at the moment, but it's contesting football. Ginniver. Left foot has a snap. Did he get it? Got to wait for it. I think he has. Yes, he has. Another one. A beautiful goal.
Score at the moment, Port Adelaide 3 goals 8, trailing Norwood 6-1.
We are. And it's Norwood 6-1 to Port Adelaide 3 goals 8, 37-26 as they go forward through Craig Kelly, right half forward flank. Norwood going to the southern end. It's into the breeze. Coming clear of the ball is Owens of Port Adelaide onto his defensive kick. Tackled quickly, dropped the ball, and that's a good tackle by Keith Thomas. Very impressed with Keith Thomas. He really has. He's had this is his 8th kick on the way over towards centre full forward and Button. Gallagher, Mr. Champion of Norwood, going away onto his left foot. He can kick if he gets it. He has, but he hasn't kicked it straight. It's through for one behind.
Well, he had the opportunity to go both ways, that, and he made his mind up to go to his left, and unfortunately for Norwood, just offline.
Stephen Curtis with the ball now. Former Western Australian player. Kick short to Bradley. Bradley to Harrison. He'll use his pace. That's one of his features of his game. Goes towards centre half forward. A loose ball towards Kelly. Has possession now. Ducks the head. Gets away cleverly. Back to Scanlon. Scanlon towards the half forward flank. Looking for Michaelini. In there is Vardaniga. Throws the ball out towards the boundary line. So allows Port Adelaide's Baker to come in. Chips away. Looking for Lawson. Comes to Hine. He fumbles. Gains possession. Back to Scanlon. Back to Kelly. Long handball. Comes towards Payne. Only a little fella, but all courage. Scrambly football at the moment as McIntosh goes in hard, and surely umpire Hilton will call it up. He does. That was scrambly football on that occasion, Ian.
Yes, it certainly was, and it has been a part of the game actually tonight that they've fallen into that problem.
Ball on the outer side of Football Park, taken by Curtis. Now Craig Ebert. Port Adelaide go forward. There's a good mark, taken by number 15 for Port Adelaide. Of course, that player is Darryl Borlase.
And the reason for the big cheer is because Andrew Aish makes a reappearance at Norwood.
Borlase is kicking towards full forward. It's a long kick, it's a goal! What a marvellous kick from Darryl Borlase. And Port Adelaide now fight back at 4 goals 8, trailing Norwood 6-2.
Kinnear pays the free kick. It will go the way of Rowan Hellier for Norwood. Has Neil Hine loose in the middle of the ground. There's plenty of time in which to take his kick. Gallagher, the will of the wisp, run through half forward. Tips away, but Martin Leslie in defence. Goes to young Darren Smith. It's a poor kick by young Darren Smith. But maybe out of bounds on the full it is. That's poor football on that occasion by Port Adelaide.
David Payne it is who'll take the resultant free kick. He thumps it back in towards full forward. Michael Aney at the second attempt, and he's taken it. Michael Aney just 15 metres out from goal. I know it's difficult to kick goals at that end, as Tim Evans found in the first quarter, but Michael Aney really should kick a goal from this position. Just 15 metres out, directly in front, and this will be a handy goal. The first scoring opportunity for Norwood in this second quarter. Michael Aney fires, and it's true. Jim Michael Aney goals for Norwood. It's his first. Norwood now 7-2, lead Port Adelaide 4-8. Ian Aitken.
(44-32) Norwood just holding on to that 12-point lead.
Bounce. Marnie. He's played fairly well this evening. This young boy can control his emotions. He's destined to have a great year in '85. He's got the talent. 8 kicks, young Wayne Marnie. Ball to ground. Norwood going forward. A hurried kick away comes towards Curtis. Very reliable in defence. Centre half forwards, the loose ball, Thomas. Nagel with a long handball away to Gallagher towards centre half forwards, a daisy cutter. Lachlan can't take the mark. Button appealing for holding the ball decision, but umpire Rick Kinnear talks to Neil Button. He looks remarkably fit after spending a couple of weeks with the South Australian crew in their challenge to the America's Cup under Neil Curley.
Bounce at centre half forward. Andrew Aish taken clear by Harrison. Handball is into the open spaces. A race between Thomas and Curtis. Finally, it's Lawson. Very strongly built Mark Lawson, recruited from Collingwood this year, playing his first game for Port Adelaide. Craig Ebert runs into heaps of trouble, but Mark Lawson backs him up well. That's a good pass. Out wide to Kennedy. Arlen Kennedy also playing his first game for the Magpies. Oh, he's hit very, very strongly by Gary McIntosh. And Ken, what a magnificent body this young man's got. By golly, doesn't he use it well?
Yes, he does, David. He's full of courage. Craig Bradley didn't like what McIntosh did. Here it is. He met him with the hip and the shoulders. There's no problems wrong with that. No problems whatsoever.
Great play by McIntosh as Neagle goes in strongly. He's caught too high, and Mick Neagle will take it at centre half back for the Redland.
Neagle with a long kick towards centre half forward. Up goes Button. Man in front though, Michael Aney, has a wonderful pair of hands. Plays on quickly into the pocket. Alan Gill there for Port Adelaide and marked safely on the chest. Goes on to Martin Leslie. Had a wonderful year in '84 to Marnie on the half-back flank. Payne on the mark. The action with Marnie. Towards centre wing. Hellier thumps it away. Back towards Marnie. He's going crazy having kicks at the moment. That's a poor one. Out of bounds on the full and a throw in on the outer side ground. In fact, a free kick to Norwood.
Justin Scanlon on the outer side of the oval. He's played a very fine game so far. David Darcy.
10 kicks to Wayne Marnie in this game to date. He's playing very well. So's Ginniver. Bradley having trouble with McIntosh. McIntosh supreme. Caught on that occasion. Holding the ball, cries the crowd. The umpire certainly didn't agree as Lachlan goes in strongly. Finally, it's out to Kelly. Roberts with him, Leslie. Leslie favoured by the bounce. Well tackled, Roberts. Leslie loses it. In goes Payne. Chance for Norwood. 3-1. Ace picks it up but runs into trouble. Oh, he's gone. Beautiful defensive work by Port Adelaide. They were outnumbered 3-1 at one stage, but fought back very, very strongly and have now turned defence into attack.
Harris coming away now towards centre wing. Bit of a dust up behind play a few moments ago, so temper's becoming frayed here. Hellier throws out towards Hines. Ooh, some strong body work at the moment. Little Ginniver, pint size but all courage. Towards Evans, can't take the mark. Supported by Harrison. Will sit for him. Taps it on cleverly towards Bradley. Bradley to Evans. The handball has to find him. Gains possession finally. Hurried handball away. Harrison again. Towards full forward. Ebert. Thomas. And umpire Hilton will call for a bounce down in the pocket. It's all strong body work at the moment.
Yes, it certainly is, and it's tough, it's fast, but it's not pretty, but it's very, very tight.
Bounce, Hine. One is Russell Evert, of course. Lester Russ on the bottom of the pack. 23 for Norwood is Peter Johnson. He's playing his first game. And there'll be another bounce. This time it's about 40 metres away from the Port Adelaide goal. Port Adelaide 4-8, trail Norwood 7-2. We're at almost the 18-minute mark of this second quarter, and what has been a tough, rugged affair to the opening of the 1985 Escort Cup. Here's a chance for Evert. He dodges around one. Now kicks long, looking for Evans, with him Balme. Neagle. Beautiful defensive work by Norwood again as Neagle gets it wide to Gallagher. Gallagher now goes short, looking for Scanlon. Scanlon needs support. Loses it. Through comes Taylor. Wasn't Taylor at all, it was Craig Kelly. Very strong. Kelly towards centre wing. Darren Smith does it well for Port Adelaide. He goes short and finds Craig Bradley in the middle of the ground.
Bradley now just moving around, directing the play down towards the centre half forward. The tactician, the master of the exercise in the centre of the ground, but it's Neil Hine. Neil Hine across to Balme, and my word, Balme has really played well tonight on Tim Evans. On this occasion, he angles it out towards Keith Thomas. Really had a great game so far as Keith Thomas. In fact, he's had 8 kicks out of side of the oval. Lum is on the ground for Port Adelaide, number 22, a new player, Craig Lum. Very close to the boundary line as the Channel 9 cameras, a perfect shot. As you can see, a very, very good crowd in attendance. There always is. It's a superb night. It's an excellent one for football, and the ground is in excellent condition. Lum it was that knocked it on. A chance now for Ginniver. Angles it over, and there's a good mark taken by Mark Lawson.
Mark Lawson, the Collingwood recruit, kicks it in forward, looking for Evans. Balme. And through for a minor score only. Port Adelaide now 4-9, trailing Norwood 7-2-44. 12 points is the difference. In fact, it's 11 points with Norwood in front.
We're back into play. Gallagher. Gallagher's like a fine wine. He just gets better and better as the years go by. Kicks down towards the centre wing. Darren Smith couldn't take it. Taken by Lachlan. Good football. Out it goes. And here's the opportunity for Greg Thomas. No relation to Keith Thomas. Kicks it down towards the half-forward flank. Button appeared to be held without possession of the ball towards Darren Smith. Can't get to it. Taken by Ginniver. Ginniver, a prolific kick-getter. He's had 10 kicks so far in this game, close to the boundary line. 44-33 with Norwood leading.
By golly, it's been a tough, rugged game, this. And what a start we've seen to the Escort Cup in 1985 as the siren sounds here at Football Park to end the first half of this second match of the evening, the game between Port Adelaide and Norwood. And at half-time, it's Norwood 7 goals to 44, leading Port Adelaide 4-9-33. The margin to Norwood is 11 points. We'll take a break now and then come back here to Football Park with Ken Cunningham. The two groups, Group A and Group B, and there you see the sides that comprise both groups. The grand final will be played on Friday, March the 29th between the winner of Group A and Group B, and of course the curtain raiser to that game will be the game played for third and fourth positions between the runner-up in Group A and the runner-up in Group B. And David Mackay, I think one of the interesting things about the format of this new Escort Cup is that the winner will be decided before the season actually starts. I think that's a great innovation.
Yes, certainly. As a past player, I know that the players would surely appreciate the fact that they're not going to have to be playing these games in the middle of the season when it is cold and wet, and of course they have got niggling injuries at that time. They would appreciate too the firm grounds that such as is here tonight, and also the fact that they do need to play pre-season practice matches to get themselves fully match hardened anyway, and this serves of course as a dual purpose. It gets the players fit at this time of year, and it also as we see tonight, it attracts a bigger crowd during the warmer months of the year, and it's been fully supported here by the public tonight, and I know that gives the players a lift also. They'll be playing their best football because there is a bigger crowd. There's not 100 or 200 or 500 people here as has been the case during last year's Escort Cup games in the middle of winter, and it's been well supported and appreciated, I think, too, by the public.
And the other great innovation, of course, is that Channel 9 will be taking league football into the country this year via the Escort Cup, and we're going to such centres as Whyalla, Mount Gambier, Crystal Brook, Clare and other places, and that I think is a great innovation to give country people a look at league football.
Well, it certainly is, David, and of course when you realise so many players have come from the country, and the Sunday game, of course, which is coming up, will be the game between Central Districts and South Adelaide, and we'll have highlights of that at 10:30 to 11:30. And other games, as David has mentioned, there'll be a game at Lobethal and Port Pirie, which we won't be covering. But there are many players that do come from the country, and as far as I'm concerned, I think this is an excellent innovation.
Indeed it is, and we'll of course be bringing that game between Central Districts and South Adelaide. The highlights 10:30 to 11:30 on Sunday night. For the moment, let's go now to Ken Cunningham and Rick Davies.
Thanks very much, Ian. Well, of course, Norwood lead here by 11 points, and Rick Davies, Port Adelaide have kicked 4 goals, 9. Not good kicking.
No, well, it's mainly Tim Evans up forward. He's missed 3 important shots that would have had them right up there with them. And looking down the other end, Neville Roberts and Big Neil Button, 3 without a miss. So 6 goals compared to no goals. It really tells the story.
What about the duel between Craig Balme and Big Tim Evans? Amazing when Tim Evans wouldn't shake hands at the beginning of the game. It was incredible, wasn't it?
Well, I think Craig Balme's got the upper hand at the moment from last year's grand final. That's only natural, but he really seems to have got his measure, and Timmy Evans sort of looks to me to be flustered. But Tim Evans is a tremendous player, there's no question about that, and he's taking the ball. If he'd have kicked straight, well, he'd have had 3 goals.
What about Norwood's performance? McIntosh in the middle, socks down and back to his best form.
Best man on the ground, in my opinion.
He's
McIntosh.
incredible, isn't he?
But I've been very impressed by a couple of the Port Adelaide players. Is it Lawson?
Yes, Mark Lawson, the former Collingwood player.
He looks like little Stephen Knight, doesn't he?
Yes.
Same sort of build, and he's kicked a couple of goals, and well, I think that Bradley's going to have to lift. I haven't seen much of Ebert, and of course if Evans gets the opportunity to shoot for goal again, he's got to kick goals up there, and Port Adelaide will be right back in this.
What about Neil Button? Of course, missed most of last year through injury, Rick. Do you think he's perhaps still able to play league football, or is perhaps at the top of his career?
No question that he can play, KG. Just because you're 33 doesn't mean to say you're finished.
How old are you, Rick?
He's a tremendous performer, and showing by his play tonight, when he hits the ground, if he misses the mark, he's down on it and he's covering. You saw in the play that he covered up for Roberts, and he's a player with tremendous bulk and experience, and he'll be invaluable for Norwood.
I've been most impressed with young Wayne Marnie and also Timmy Ginniver. Number 2 has played superbly, Ginniver. He really has played brilliant football. Here you see him now, Rick.
I think, KG, that was a throw, by the way, from Bradley. Only the umpires didn't see it. But those 2 players are getting to the stage now where they've played 40 or 50 games. And here he comes in, beautiful movement. I think that was a bit of luck, KG, left foot, back screw. So, you'd have to put that one down to a bit of luck.
That was you at your best, Rick.
I wouldn't have got it. But looking at those little players, it's about time now that they sort of showed something, because they've been around the club for a couple of years.
Well, Wayne Marnie's form last year was inconsistent. He started the season brilliantly, but then perhaps his emotions got the better of him. But tonight he's controlled that, and he's played pretty well.
Well, I'd much rather a fella that's got a few emotions, KG. At least you can work with him, because you know that he won't give in. And Russell Ebert will be looking for that sort of player to come on now and can show a bit.
OK, well, Norwood lead here at half-time by 11 points over Port Adelaide. We look forward to a most exciting second half after this commercial break.
Do you understand it's Port? What? Do you understand it's back?
Well, Norwood are back out in the middle after half-time here at Football Park. They lead by 11 points as Port Adelaide makes its way onto the ground, led by Russell Ebert. Some interesting statistics, David. Ginniver, 13 possessions. Marnie has 12 possession for Port Adelaide. Keith Thomas, 11, 8 kicks and 3 handballs. And Justin Scanlon has 10 possessions, 6 kicks and 4 handballs. And to me, the most interesting thing of the whole statistics that we have in front of us here is the balls out of centre. In fact, Port Adelaide have taken the ball out of centre 12 times to Norwood's 2, and yet Norwood lead by 11 points. Explain that.
Well, it's unusual because normally any time a team wins out of the centre so comprehensively, they're well in control of the game, but it doesn't appear to be the case tonight, and I think part of the reason for that, of course, is that around the ground, Geneva and Marnie are doing perhaps the bulk of the work driving it forward for Port, and Scanlon and Thomas are being able to repel that back up towards the Norwood end, and they're doing a fine job for him. And when it gets down there, of course, they've got Roberts and Button have kicked 3 straight. They've got young David Payne, and he's an absolute live wire. He reminds me of a future Neville Roberts, perhaps. He's an accurate little kick. He's very fast. His disposal is good, and he's got all the skills to make him an outstanding player. And there's Neville Roberts on screen now, and he's leading the team well. He leads by example. He's a tremendous character. He's a person who laughs and enjoys his football, and he encourages those young fellows all the time. And with Neil Balme and Roberts at the helm of Norwood, I don't think they can go wrong. There's a lot of experience between them, and they're going to help a lot of those younger players.
Well, play just about to commence now for the second half of this exciting match between Port Adelaide and Norwood. Norwood lead by 11 points to take you into the third quarter. Welcome to Ian Aitken.
Centre bounce down, high and it is that gets the palm. Straight down the throat of Craig Ebert. Very quickly, they work the ball down towards the centre half forward position. Scanlon falling over, taking a very good mark. Justin Scanlon of Norwood, number 21. Kicking the ball down around the outer side of the oval. Craig Ebert, number 8, running in there, trying to gain possession, can't do it. Owens is there as well. Coming up with the ball is number 43. You think that face is familiar? Well, it is. It's Andrew Aish. Back in the club after having a rest from league football in season 84. Also, Rick Neagle has returned to the fold. Lawson is over there for Port Adelaide, trying to break clear with the ball. He's not successful. And for the time being, the scores remain the same. 7-2 to 4 goals 9. 6-1 to 1-6 it was, with Norwood leading at quarter time. Bounce down. No one can effectively get into stride in the opening passage of the first minute of the third quarter here at the Escort Cup. And it's Channel 9 bringing to you this game, Port Adelaide and Norwood.
Bounce. Baker from behind. Bradley, it was, trying to work his way clear, and he's gone for holding the ball. McIntosh drives Norwood forward. Where's Button? Roberts, the ball fisted clear into the open spaces. Chance for Curtis, got a very awkward bounce. Thomas is in there, so's Roberts. Thumps it out in the direction of Button. Back it comes to Greg Thomas, supported by Gallagher. Gallagher running himself into the pocket, turns out of it brilliantly. Gives it back to Greg Thomas. His kick, centering the ball, has been well marked in defence by Darren Smith. Port Adelaide get clear as Smith kicks it towards centre wing. Oh, almost a great mark taken by Vardeniger. Hine to Gallagher, back to Scanlon. Scanlon needs support. Taylor it is, Michael Taylor waiting at centre half forward. Taylor goes long looking for Roberts. Leslie does good defensive work. In goes Smith. Players stack up as Thomas it was. Greg Thomas who got the handball in the direction of Neagle. Now Andrew Ace. All players going in very strongly. 28 at the bottom of the pack is Darren Smith, and it's umpire Rick Kinnear who'll come in and bounce.
I don't think they're treating this as a practice match at all. All the players are aggressive and they're fighting for that ball very hard.
Bounce down. Palmed away. The opportunity now for Martin Leslie. Ben Harris it is that gets it across. Picked up quickly by Geneva. He's had a huge number of kicks as Geneva out towards his 11th kick he's had. Towards the boundary line is the ball. Andrew Aish is across there, and Andrew Aish it is to get the free kick. His brother Michael is not playing tonight. A short kick from Aish goes straight down the throat of Glenn Vardeniger. Been more than a useful performance by Glenn Vardeniger. The action from how it looks behind the goals. He's some 35 to 40 metres out. The kick is on its way. It's going to make the distance all right, but the accuracy is not there, through for a minor score.
So Norwood 7-2, lead Port Adelaide 4-9. Norwood now to 7 goals 3, in fact, with that point. Play directed to the outer side. Strongly was Taylor to Neagle. Now Andrew Ace. He settles, kicks in towards goal, but he too is offline. And that's the second point to the quarter, for Norwood.
It's interesting to note too that Russell Ebert has brought himself out to centre half forward in an attempt to try and get his side back into this game.
Harris to bring the ball back into play, goes for a short kick. This could be dangerous, but fortunately for Port Adelaide, it's marked there by Craig Ebert. Ebert, brother of the captain coach and 4 times Magarey medalist. Russell Ebert, this is Craig Bradley. Craig Bradley kicking down towards the centre wing, outer side of the oval. To the ground it goes. Picked up here and dropped by Darryl Borlase. Ball to the ground, Roberts tackling. Craig Ebert pushed him at the back, and Craig Ebert will take a free kick.
Ebert's on the defensive side of centre, Roberts standing the mark. Arlen Kennedy went past and asked for the handball, but that was ignored. Scanlon went high but couldn't hold it. Ebert in strongly. Now Harrison. Oh, he's in all sorts of trouble. Loses it to Vardeniger. Now McIntosh. This is a good build-up, although it's left behind by David Payne. He recovers well to get it back to McIntosh. But now the ball has been intercepted by Harrison. And there's a free kick downfield, is it? As umpire Hilton goes in, and no, in fact, to play it the other way. And the free kick, Ian Aiken, is going the way of Gary McIntosh.
Yes, the human tank is McIntosh. On his mark is Craig Bradley. A natural gifted sportsman is Craig Bradley, but it's McIntosh now kicking down towards the centre half forward position. It goes from behind the pack. And the opportunity for Port Adelaide to clear down around the grandstand side. Gallagher, who can run nearly as fast backwards as he can forwards. He's got possession of the ball now. He's lost it. The ball is held to his body. He couldn't break clear. And the umpire will bounce the ball. For nearly 5 minutes into this, the third quarter, Port Adelaide are trailing 7-4 Norwood to Port Adelaide 4-9. Bounce down. Comes clear. Gallagher. Ebert. No one there. But it's now Kelly, Craig Kelly, dishes out the hand pass and does it well to Vardeniger. Daniger stops and props and straight down the throat of the former Norwood captain in Michael Taylor.
He seems to be coming into the game now. He's had 2 quick kicks and he's driving them into attack now.
Kick from Taylor into the square. Smith has front position and he'll be paid. Michael Annie disputing that. But in fact, Darren Smith, no doubt, had front position and earned the mark. Smith a little undecided which way to come. Finally elects to bring it to the grandstand side. Hine up. Good mark there, Hine. A very lanky, thin Norwood ruckman who had a fine year in '84. Was one of the big reasons why Norwood won a premiership last year. There's Button from behind, but I'm sure that Ben Harris will be paid. Again, Michael Annie disputing the decision, but there was no doubt in my mind or that of the umpire that Ben Harris had most of that ball.
Harris kicks the ball clear. McIntosh coming down there, thumps it forward towards Roberts. Roberts pushed to the back. No! On it goes to McIntosh, but the whistle is gone, and the free kick is going to be taken by Port Adelaide's Martin Leslie. He'll go around the outer side of the oval. Pressure is well and truly applied this evening, as the scoreboard would indicate. 7-4 to 4-9, 46 to 33. Norwood on top, outer side. Big roar from a big crowd in attendance here at Football Park.
Just 2 points scored in this third quarter, and we've been playing 6 minutes of it. Both of those points scored by Norwood. Into attack they go again. Flying high was Vardeniger. Gill does some good defensive work, pokes it out of bounds. Throw in 40 metres around from the Norwood goal.
Neither side is giving an inch here. It's a pressure-packed game. They're diving on the ball, punching it forward. No one is able to get a clear advantage at the moment.
Ball back into play as Button palms it. Vardeniger's across there. Number 7 with the helmet on, the bike riding helmet, is Curtis. Michael Taylor 29 and the blonde head of Darren Smith 28. Played well too as Smith, and as he palmed it down very cleverly on that occasion, Aish goes without possession of the ball and will probably get a free kick. I say probably because that's the way that I saw it. But I'm a long way away from it, but it's the right decision as far as the umpire is concerned. And Andrew Aish, who missed season 84 along with Nigel. Both of them are playing. So that's how it looks from behind the goals. You can see the ball on its way, and it's not a good kick on this occasion, and it goes offline and through for a minor score.
Down on the boundary, John Edwards and Greg Edwards and beg your pardon, it's Greg Edwards' brother Russell Edwards warming up with young Harvey down there. They look like they're ready to come on.
Harris now brings the ball back into play to the outer side of Football Park. Ideal conditions for football here tonight. A magnificent crowd, and we're witnessing 2 fine games. Great spectacle in the Escort Cup. Kelly bursts through the pack, thumps it in towards centre half forward. Here's a chance for Button. The handball's over the top. Oh, a Bad fumble by David Payne. Can he recover? No, he can't, as he soccer off the ground, cannons into the goalpost, and David Payne thumps his fists together in anger because a golden opportunity went begging. As we watch Russell Edwards, it is, warming up on the boundary, as David Mackay told you, he hopefully will be playing soon for the Port Adelaide side.
Harris to bring the ball back into play around the outer side of the oval. Back there is McIntosh. It came off hands of Neil Hyde. McIntosh can't get to it. Goss there is Bradley. Picks it up beautifully as Bradley. He really is a class footballer. Angles it down ground. A clash here between Craig Kelly. Didn't eventuate. Rowan Hellier. One of the boom players of '84. Curtis. Rowan Hellier really did have a fine season on a half-back flank last year for Norwood, but it's Curtis angling the ball down ground and finds his teammate in Harrison. Phil Harrison quickly goes forward, kicking, won't make the distance, doesn't have the accuracy anyway, and it goes out of play on the half line. So Tim Evans so far has yet to score a goal. Coming onto the ground is number 26 Russ Edwards, and off is Alan Gill, 27.
Throw in from the left forward pocket. Here's a snap at goal by Alan Kennedy, and it's a goal. Was it Kennedy or was it Borlace? We'll wait on that. It was either number 15 or number 18, I believe. It was Darryl Borlace, number 15. And so Port Adelaide notched their 5th goal. They're 5-9, trailing Norwood 7-6.
We are live with the game again. Round the corner goes Russell Ebert, kicking in down ground to Borlace. Darryl Borlace is booted to, goes forward, looking down. There's a good mark, a very well judged mark, perfectly kept his eyes on the ball there, did Stephen Knight, and Stephen Knight is now only 20 metres out from goals. He came to Port Adelaide last year and he had a very successful season, and now he is on a slight angle, as you can see, coming in. The kick is there, but it's offline and through for a minor score. So wasted opportunities here, Ken Cunningham.
You're right there, Ian. They certainly can't afford to waste these opportunities. Normally, Stephen Knight's a very accurate kick for goal, but on that occasion it wasn't to be. And Port Adelaide 5-10-40, 8 points behind the red leg, 7-6-48.
Directs the play to the outer side, and there's a good mark taken out there by number 24, was it Brendan Owens? The kick back towards centre half forward. Chance for Gallagher, supported by Balme. Balme steadies. Curtis, good mark. Fine player is Stephen Curtis. The handball wide. Port Adelaide go forward once more. Balme has the back position, has the best position, and Balme is playing very, very well, Ian Aiken, on Tim Evans.
Superb performance by Balme as it goes on to Taylor, supported by McIntosh. McIntosh to Greg Thomas, and that's a good movement there from Norwood, as now Greg Thomas has got time to bounce it, and he kicks the ball down towards the centre half forward position. Roberts in the middle of the pack couldn't take it. Across there is David Payne, throwing his body over the top of the ball. He's a very slightly built little player, as David Payne, as you can see there, number 17, getting up to his feet for Norwood. Had an excellent year last year, as I told you previously in the commentary. Umpire bounces the ball. It's fisted away. The opportunity for Marnie. Marnie charging at it. McIntosh, how do you like that? The pair of them went down hard. McIntosh up on his feet and does it well. But it's Craig Bradley, the master tactician and the master centre man at the moment, as he's kicking the ball down towards the right half forward flank for Ginniver to get to it. He can't do it because Ginniver, Lester Ross is there. Well done, Ginniver. Bradley at Craig Ebert is. On it goes to Borlace, having a look, having a snap, and the umpire's in the right spot, okay, but he's indicated that the ball has gone out of play on the full. What a passage of football, Ken.
Oh, was that tough or not? Gee whiz, really tough football at the moment here. As we see Balme kicking to the outer side, centre wing, looking out there for Gallagher. He takes the mark. On the defensive side of centre, McIntosh. Has he got any courage at all, that boy? Goes to Hine. Poor handball this occasion comes towards Owen. He's tackled. The ball out of bounds and the throw-in will take place at centre wing, outer side ground. Big Neil Hine, number 5. Baker, number 29 for Port Adelaide. 18 is Kennedy, 29 Michael Taylor, 8 is Craig Ebert. Shoves the ball through his leg. McIntosh is caught holding the ball. And the free kick will go Port Adelaide's way. McIntosh not all that happy. Oh, socks down. What a great character of the game of football he is.
Kick forward, and the ball has been marked out there by Darryl Borlase. Borlase, who's potted 2 goals, has played pretty well. Kicks in looking for Evans. At the back, lumbering after this big hind. He takes it through the point post, and another minor score to Port Adelaide. They're 5-11, bad kicking, trailing Norwood 7-6, and we're at a very interesting stage. 13 minutes gone in the third quarter, and just 7 points separating the two sides.
Balme bringing the ball around the grandstand side. That's not a good kick from Balme at all. In fact, it's been marked here by David Baker. Quickly gets it across to Lawson. Has a shot at the goals, one behind. So the scoreboard at the moment is 41-48. Norwood 7 goals, 6 to Port Adelaide 5 goals, 12, which is actually 42. 6 points the difference.
Yes, just 6 points, as Ian told you, separating these sides. It's been a very tough, rugged encounter. Players on the outer side. Vardeniger sells the dummy, gives it back to Greg Thomas. Thomas now socks down, full of purpose, kicks it long. Nobody back there for Norwood. It's all Smith for Port Adelaide, and he'll turn defence into attack.
Goes towards the half-forward line. Strong body work at the moment out there. Players throwing their body over the ball. Free kick has been found. It'll go the way of Jim Michaelaney. Centre wing, outer side ground. The half-forward flank. Up goes Roberts, but a fine mark in defence. Martin Leslie. A long handball away. Port Adelaide coming out of defence towards the half-forward line. Hellier is there, number 16. Also Neil Hine. Players caught on by umpire Kinnear. Find a Hine to Taylor, to McIntosh. Goes the way of Scanlon. Scanlon towards the half-forward flank. Up goes Roberts, off hands. Strong body work at the moment. Players throwing their body over the ball, and the umpire will call for a bounce.
Very strong performance by Ben Harris since he's been able to hold Roberts down. Roberts got away in that opening quarter, of course, and booted 3, but it's been a fine performance since then. Button up there trying to gain possession of the ball and does it very well. Dishes out the hand pass to Taylor. Taylor looking for Gallagher and finds that player as well. Also going through is Michaelaney. Michaelaney has a long driving kick in towards the goals, but Mark going back there and taking it as Harris. He's got time to kick the ball without pressure down towards Lawson. Lawson couldn't take the mark because he in turn was under pressure from Scanlon, and the ball's on the ground and the umpire will come in and bounce.
Yeah,
Nearly 16 minutes have gone, David, in this the third quarter, and Norwood are still leading by 6 points.
But plucky Mark Lawson doesn't lack any courage too. He's built like a Sherman tank. See him get up there off the ground and throw his body over the ball, and he'll be an asset, Ken, to the Port Adelaide side as well.
Certainly will be, David. He's a fine footballer. Played well tonight. Nutt, Button, Baker, Vardeniger. He's played very well tonight too. Comes to Rick Neagle, chips it away shortly. Looking towards Thomas, pushes the ball out of bounds, and the throw-in will take place. And the half-forward flank for the Redlegs. Norwood 7-6, 48. Port Adelaide 5-12, 42. The throw-in. Free kick. It's been paid by umpire John Hilton. Port Adelaide to take the kick.
Down ground it goes. Getting up there and taking the kick is Darryl Borlase. 2 goals, 1 so far. He's on the half-back flank at the moment. Still 6 points the difference. Underneath it is Russell Ebert. Wayne Marnie also there. Umpire Kinnear has picked out a Wayne Marnie free kick, and there'll be 15 metres in favour of Marnie, who wastes no time at all and gets on with it very quickly. Directs the play across to his teammate in Brenton Owens. Forwards it in turn to Phil Harrison. Harrison towards Russell Ebert. He can kick either left or right, can Ebert. Up towards Evans, who's goalless so far. The lace is there, and so is Button, who's having a run on the ball at the moment, and he rushes it through for a minor score. 5 points the difference.
Well, Harrison has it for Port Adelaide, chips in short, and there's Knight. Takes the mark, cops one in the back. He'll get a 15-metre penalty, and this will bring him just 25 metres from goal. full of character is Stephen Knight. A great resemblance to Bomber Clifford in both his football and his character, as Knight kicks for goal and he's offline. 1 point only. Port Adelaide 5-14, 19 shots to 13, but Port Adelaide trail by 4 points.
Yes, and Stephen Knight, of course, will play his first game of A-grade cricket tomorrow, also for the Magpies, so a versatile sportsman is Stephen Knight. Back with Norwood now. Balme comes towards the grandstand side. Lovely kick on this occasion. Michaeloni thumps it on. Andrew Ace. Owens. Ace does it cleverly. To centre half forward. Roberts tried to use the body. Leslie playing particularly well. Had a top year last year. Continuing the good form. Thomas, number 2. Leslie, 17 for Port Adelaide. With the ball out of bounds. And will be thrown in on the half-forward flank for Norwood.
Fine performance from Leslie and Harris. Both these two players, after Button and Roberts got away and booted 3 goals, they tightened their game and they really have played well. Ginniver there has tried to get it across. Unsuccessful. They work it out through Smith. Smith, blonde head, shows plenty of place and plenty of style and plenty of ability. Marnie. The emotional player, as Ken Cunningham has told you. Knight, clever football here from Scanlon. Scanlon down towards Payne. Payne sees the ball slip past him, but does it very cleverly, does David Payne. Lines up the goals, has a shot, it's on its way. They did need a goal on that occasion, but a minor score was the result.
Norwood goalless in this third quarter. They were 7-2 at half-time and have managed only 5 points. Curtis takes the kick in. Gains ground by kicking the ball himself, but Thomas does well, makes up numerous yards to get there and carry the ball out of play. So it was 7-2 to 4-9 at half-time. After almost 20 minutes of this third quarter, Neil Balme certainly must be anxious because Norwood haven't been able to add a goal. They're 7-7 at the moment, whilst Port Adelaide have added 1 goal 5, and remember, of course, that is into the breeze.
Umpire John Hilton about to bounce the ball. Good crowd here at Footy Park. Witness this great contest between last year's grand finalists. Thomas trying to weave the ball away. Owens in there for Port Adelaide. Scrambly football, and the ball forced over the line. And a further throwing will take place. There you see the vast crowd here at headquarters tonight, really lapping up this game of football. Back the ball comes towards centre wing. Port Adelaide through Ginniver trying to work the ball away. Can't do so. Also Kennedy in there, number 18 for Port Adelaide. Mark Lawson, number 20. There's Michael Taylor. Back from playing with Collingwood in the VFL. Down goes the bounce. Baker. The tap away. Goes to Marnie. Andrew Ace, number 43. Does it well. It's a poor handball, however. Tries to find Kelly. Quick Neagle in there. But again, the umpire has paid a free kick. It'll go the way of Port Adelaide.
Strong move by the hierarchy of Norwood. Craig Kelly normally has played in attack, playing in defence tonight, and has played very well. Wayne Marnie is across there, takes the mark. Of course, Andrew Jarvis last year had a sparkling season for Norwood on a half-back flank. But at the moment, it's Stephen Knight for Port Adelaide, driving the ball down towards the left, centre half-forward position. Couldn't take the mark was Lester Ross, another player last year who also was to the forefront. And Lester Ross Senior would be a very proud father, I would think, as Lester Ross Junior. It's a darn good football. Tapped away from Button. Bradley gets it, kicks it, out the front. Taking the mark is a good one to Ginniver. Must be close to best on ground tonight is Ginniver. This is kick number 13 on its way. Over it goes. And there's a good defensive mark taken back and played well by Ace.
Andrew Ace it is. Of course, Michael Ace not playing for Norwood tonight. And there's the siren as Rick Nagel takes the ball. So at three-quarter time here at Football Park, it is Port Adelaide 5 goals 14-44. Trailing Norwood at 7-7-49. We'll take a break now and then back with what promises to be an exciting last quarter.
Yep. Welcome back to Football Park, and there's a magnificent shot of the stadium here, and it really is, as far as I'm concerned, the finest football stadium in Australia, and as far as stadiums go, it must rank highly in the world. And it's a fine performance from the Norwood tonight. They're 7 goals, 7-49. Of course, they won the grand final last year to Port Adelaide 5-14-44. Can Port Adelaide get up and win this game?
Well, they certainly can, Ian. They're a side you never say are finished. They're a very good side. They are a traditional side, and when they're playing a side like Norwood, one can never ever write a Port Adelaide side off. But David Darcy, I've been most impressed with the fitness of both these sides tonight. I would imagine this game being a game halfway through the season, whereby their fitness is tremendous. What would Russell Ebert be saying to the players now?
Well, I'm sure, Ken, that he'll be trying to instill into them that there's still 21 minutes plus time on left in this game. It's an important game for Port Adelaide, psychologically. Having been beaten by Norwood in the grand final last year, it was a very dejected and disappointed Port Adelaide camp at the end of last season. Now, if they can start the season off in 85 with a win over last year's premiers, and bear in mind, Ken, that out of that Port Adelaide side that played in the grand final, there are names like Johnson, Anderson, Clifford, Belton, Dexter Kennedy, Kim Kinnear, retired of course, and Dwayne Russell, who are not playing here tonight. So really this has been a top performance by Port Adelaide. 5-14, they've had 19 scoring shots to 14, and I'm sure that Russell would be saying to them now just how important it is that they should keep on keeping on in those last perhaps 25 minutes and get away with a victory. And I'm sure that they will, because they've got the breeze at their back. I'm sure they'll come home the stronger side. But whoever wins and whoever loses, it's been a magnificent start, has it not, to this 1985 Escort Cup.
Well, you're right, David, and there you see Neil Balme talking to the Norwood players. And Ian, have you seen their performance? What have been the positive points from Norwood's point of view? Well,
Well, of course, they got away so well, didn't they, in that first quarter when they kicked 6 goals, 1. It was due mainly to Neville Roberts and to Neil Button. But since then, the fullback, Ben Harris, has done a wonderful job, and he's been ably supported by Martin Leslie. But as far as Norwood concerned, I think that they, after their first quarter start, they really have faded a little bit since then, because 6 goals, 1, and they are now only 7 goals, 7. So they have only been able to add, 1 goal, 6 since the quarter time break. And that doesn't indicate, David, a lot of strength there.
No, it does not, Ian. Free kicks interesting. 29 free kicks to Port Adelaide, 19 to Norwood, and just a few of the top kick earners. 14 to Marnie, 13 to Geneva. By golly, the little blokes played well. 9 to Bradley, who came into the game a bit more in the third quarter, and Martin Leslie, who I thought was outpointed in the first 15 minutes by Roberts, but by golly, he's come back strongly, Ken.
I think that's been one of the big turning points in the game, David, the way that Martin Leslie has come back into this game. He's taken Neville Roberts completely out of the game. He's read the ball beautifully in defence there. He's been well supported by Benny Harris. But I really believe that's been one of the real big turning points of the game, Ian.
Yes, it certainly has, and as Neil Balme is supported there by Ross Porritt make their way back, it's going to be a top last quarter, because neither of these two sides want to lose the game. There's no doubt about that. And Norwood are leading by 5 points. They're going to kick into the breeze.
14 possessions to Justin Scanlon, 14 also to Philip Gallagher and Gary McIntosh, who used his body to perfection in that third quarter. What a heart he's got, this young fella. 6 kicks, no marks, 9 handballs, 15 possessions to McIntosh. Umpire Kinnear holds the ball aloft. Play about to start. It should be a thrilling last quarter. Ian Aiken will take us into it.
Yes, 5 points the difference now as it's on the way. Bradley gets it going forward. Scanlon goes without possession. Craig Ebert's across there. But this fella Kelly's played very, very well. Ebert's not having a bar of that, though. Over it goes, the opportunity for Arlen Kennedy. I'm sure that Russell Ebert would have been quite happy with his performance. Also, I'm sure he would have been happy with Wayne Marnie's performance tonight. A very rangy rover. He's only a youngster. He's around about 17 or 18 years of age. 17, I think, on this occasion. Not a well-directed kick at all. And going in there is oh, there's no doubt about that, McIntosh. He really is something. There's one thing I wouldn't have liked to have been then, and that was the ground. As it's knocked down. Trying to gain possession of it is Duncan. Fosdyke, not successful. McIntosh, he won't let anybody touch him.
Well, Mark Lawson is certainly having a very tough introduction to football here in South Australia. Fosdyke with the ball now. Throws it in front of him. Port Adelaide players going in hard. Likewise, we see Vardanica with possession knocked away. And young Tim Ginniver getting the plaudits of his teammates. The ball to be thrown in on the outer side. Hine, Baker. Ebert goes to Kennedy. There's an opportunity now for Norwood through Kelly. Former PAC boy, kicks it out towards the grandstand side, towards the boundary line. Ace with possession, taken over the line, and a throw-in will take place on the half-forward line for Port Adelaide.
And Joation, his comeback game from Norwood, didn't play at all in 1984. He's a welcome acquisition back to the club. Neil Hine from behind gets the tap. Taken by Rowan Hallier. Norwood towards centre wing. Keith Thomas gets an awkward bounce. Button in there, the bearded Neil Button. Now Curtis. Tapped on cleverly by Bradley. Chance for Russell Edwards. A poorly directed kick, however. 2-on-1. Ebert takes it for Port Adelaide. Craig Ebert, that is. The handball's back to Russell Edwards. The left foot hook is towards centre half forward, but it's ill-directed, and the mark easily accepted by Neil Hine.
Good footballer is Neil Hine. He's underestimated as far as I'm concerned. He does do a lot of good work. Neil Button is over there as well. And Ash has picked up the tempo quite quickly since returning to league football. Tonight's his first game, as David Darcy has told you, in league ranks. He missed 1984. He certainly played plenty of football prior to that. It's going to be David Payne to take the free kick. Second year of league football for David Payne, kicking down towards the half-forward flank. Martin Leslie has spoken highly about his performance. Smith is another one that's played very well. Thomas Gallagher. Gallagher the champion as far as I'm concerned. Eagle over to Roberts. Perfect football. Roberts, 3 goals in the first quarter. Hasn't kicked one since then. 5 points the difference with Norwood on top. And a goal here would be just what the doctor ordered. Dr. Neil Balme, that is. It's Roberts, who is only 30 metres out from goals. A stabbing action. And it's offline and through for one behind. 7 goals, 8. Norwood to Port Adelaide, 5 goals, 14.
Well, the question to be asked, of course, is, as did Woodville in the first game, can Norwood kick into the breeze in this last quarter and come back and win the game? I know they lead by 6 points at the moment, but it's going to be a very, very testing time, a true test of character for the Norwood side. They've stood up to it in years gone by, and I'm sure that they will here tonight.
Bradley with the kick towards the half-forward line. Stephen Knight, beautifully tackled on that occasion by the Norwood player in Peter Johnson. That was a tremendous tackle. And by John Hilton, good bounce. Bradley sat upon, holding the ball. Keith Thomas, who set that last goal up for Norwood. Towards centre wing. Out of bounds on the fourth. A poor kick by Thomas. And a free kick will be taken by Mark Lawson of Port Adelaide. Played well tonight, Lawson. Towards Stephen Knight. He can't gain possession. Oh, he's a top chance now for Ginniver. It'll be Evans into an open goal. Gains possession. And it's a great goal for Port Adelaide. That's his first for the night. Port Adelaide, 6 goals, 14, 50 points. Norwood 7-8-50. It's a line ball, David Darcy.
Oh, yeah, what great atmosphere here at Football Park. Let's have a look at that goal again. It was a tremendous mistake, a horrendous mistake by Scanlon. Gave it to Ginniver. Evans was left unattended in the goal square and banged it through. And now, as we approach the 6-minute mark of this final quarter, the scores are all tied away.
Evans again, it's in replay for the 3rd time, and it was worth watching because of the fine football there by Tim Ginniver. Most unselfish performance by the youngster. All square, 50-50. Hine it is, palms it down. Marnie down towards centre half forward, a long lead from Ginniver. Knocked away from that player by Lester Ross, pushes it out the front. Lester Ross in pursuit, uses his body well, tumbles over in desperation at the last minute. 5 minutes and 43 seconds have gone, and this is the last quarter. And the scores are all square.
What a great night of football. Woodville defeating the Tigers by 1 point in the first encounter. Now, at the moment, scores all tied away. Free kick has been found. It'll go the way of Andrew Ace on the half-back flank. Up goes the pack. Oh, top mark on that occasion by Russell Edwards, number 26. Craig Ebert. Poor kick finds Lester Ross. What a great year Lester Ross had in 1984 in the back pocket. Very consistent player for the Redlegs. Up goes Kelly, one grab. Can't tackle on the second attempt. Goes to young Smith. Andrew Ace starting to find his legs now for the Redlegs. Edwards again. Manages to keep the ball in play. Ross. Russell Ebert has been very quiet tonight. Hurried handball away on the ball, out of bounds in the throw-in. David, I've never seen Russell Ebert play a quieter game for quite some time.
No, indeed not, Kenny. He played a magnificent game in the grand final last year. I guess it's going to take him just a little longer each year to run in the form that we expect. Here he is in the action again. That's a great handball to Harrison. Oh, he loses his boot. Lost it. The boot went just as far as the ball. The ball went in the wrong direction. It went out of bounds, and Phil Harrison trundles after the left boot. But it's brought back into play now as the kick in from Balme finds Duncan Fosdyke at centre wing.
Down towards towards Smith. Good mark from Smith. One of Port Adelaide's best players tonight. Kicks the ball around in towards the centre of the ground. A quick hand pass there from John Harvey. On and turn to Leslie to Bradley. Bradley down towards the right half-forward player. That's Port Adelaide players starting to appear unchecked on the half-forward flank at the moment. And just for the time being, the Norwood defenders a little rattled. The scores are all square. Superb night of football in the opening of the Escort Cup. Stephen Knight booting the ball right towards the square. Evans up there, and there's a mark and a quick snap for goals. It's a beauty by Phil Harrison. Straight through, and so Port lead by 6 points.
Great goal by Harrison. The ball was sent in. There he is. He lost his boot the previous attempt. This time he took it over the back of the pack, turned around quickly, and manged it through, and Port Adelaide get clear by 6 points.
Here it is in replay. Watch this magnificent bit of work by number 6 of Port Adelaide. That's Kelly, number 28 from Norwood. But Harrison got the ball onto his boot, straight through the middle, and a goal to Port Adelaide. Super stuff. Here it is again. Top football by Port Adelaide. The kick in towards full forward. Evans went high, but it was Harrison who did the good work for the Port Adelaide side.
A real test of character now for Norwood. Can they come back into this breeze? Gallagher gets one in the back. Gives it to Thomas. Greg Thomas that was. Thomas forward. Chance for Fosdyke. Gets an awkward bounce. Curtis for Port Adelaide. Now Craig Ebert. A short chip into the centre of the ground finds Baker.
Baker runs through centre. Towards Lester Ross. Oh, top mark. Top mark for Port Adelaide. It's Kennedy. At centre half forward. One grab. Got it on the second attempt. And he's played a very good game tonight for Port Adelaide. Taking plenty of time. He'd be 50 metres from goal. A high kick. Will it get the distance? Won't quite make the distance. Right on the goal umpire. 1 point is a signal from umpire Mostyn Rudder, and Port Adelaide advanced to 7 goals, 15-57, Norwood 7-8-50.
And they appear to be doing it just a little better at the moment. As Vardaniger's across there. Neagle dishing out the hand pass, but it's picked up here by Craig Ebert. Nowhere to go, forced to the boundary line and goes out of play. 7 points the difference. Nearly 10 minutes have gone in this the last quarter. Port Adelaide stung by last year's grand final loss when they really expected to win it. But it's McIntosh right now, and he was one reason why they didn't win it last year. Neagle very close to the boundary line and out of play. So, Norwood, to my way of thinking, just don't seem to be doing it quite well enough. Hine, McIntosh, bursting through as a human tank. Over it goes to Rick Neagle. Neagle down towards the left half forward flank. Button on a long lead, couldn't hold it. Darren Smith is there as well, but Button gets it across. They're never dead. It goes across Payne, David Payne trying to get it. He was seen to be tackled rather high, and the umpire agrees with that. Curtis doesn't.
Well, certainly a brave man to ride off the red legs here, and that's for sure, as they go towards centre half forward. But in defence, it's all Port Adelaide back there. Great mark on that occasion by number 15, which is Ball Ace. Comes to Bradley. Bradley towards the grandstand side. Kick number 12. Craig Kelly does it well. Towards Rocky Roberts over his head. Superb work by Lawson coming out of defence. Thomas for the mark! For the mark by Keith Thomas. Lays on quickly. Has Scanlon loose in the middle of the ground. Norwood coming back against Port Adelaide towards centre half forward. Over the top of the pack. Payne in there. Players throwing their body over the ball. Trying to get the ball out. Button with the long handball away. Roberts, Leslie towards Vardaniga. Desperate football at the moment. Free kick will go Port Adelaide's way.
Strength there, though, by Leslie when he just pushed aside a very tiring Rocky Roberts.
Harris now brings Port Adelaide out of defence. Through goes Button. Here's a chance for Roberts now. He lines up the goal. Oh, that's the most uncharacteristic kick from Neville Roberts. And he's put it out of bounds on the full. Just when Norwood need a goal because they trail by 7 points and time is ticking away.
So it's just a breather moment for Port Adelaide as the ball is brought back into play. Over towards Smith. I've been very impressed with his performance tonight. It really has been excellent. Here's the opportunity now for Brenton Owens to bring the ball clear. He does just that, but it's McIntosh. I think you'd have to say that he's beaten Bradley tonight in the centre of the ground. Scanlon. McIntosh really has played superbly, as he always does. The reason being he will never ever give up, and nor will Norwood. And here's the reason why. They've always got skilled footballers. Andrew Aish on the right half forward flank. They have a tradition at Norwood, and that is that they are never beaten. But equally, Port Adelaide have that same tradition. Aish kicking in towards the left full forward pocket. Button up there, couldn't take it because Smith is there. Well done, Smith. Fine performance from the youngster. You'll see a lot more of him in 1985. Towards the boundary line it goes. Balace chasing after it. He's kicked 2 goals too, and we've been operating for nearly 13 minutes of the last quarter.
Yes, I agree with you, Ian. He's played a top game, young Darren Smith, tonight. Very impressive. Throw in. Ball ace comes to Peter Lachlan. Duncan Fosdyke. Into the pocket he goes. And there we see David Payne, who thought about playing on. He saw Darren Smith coming in quickly and decided against it. David Payne with an opportunity now for Norwood.
Change being made by Port Adelaide as Payne lines up this shot for goal. Alan Gill and Stephen Knight on the boundary line. Knight off, Gill about to come on, and Norwood made a change as Payne's kick is offline, but there's a mark almost taken. Oh, it's shot for goal. It's a goal. I think, yes, it is. Oh, Norwood fight back strongly. Keith Thomas, it was a magnificent performance. Hurdled it through. Norwood back in business now, trail by 1 point.
Yes, what a magnificent game it is. Keith Thomas urging his players on there. And you see it in replay. David Payne in towards full forward. Now watch this magnificent work by Thomas. Ball towards the ground. Thomas coming in very quick with the hands. Ball to his foot and straight through.
Out of the centre of the ground goes the ball, though, for Port Adelaide by David Baker. Kicks down ground. Ebert couldn't take it. Balace is across there. He's kicked a couple. Keeps the ball running. Lester Ross. Well done, Lester. Knocks it away towards the half-back flank. Ebert on again to his brother Craig Ebert, who kicks it in towards the pocket. And there's a good mark taken by Mark Lawson. Been very impressed with his performance tonight. He's kicked a couple. He's in the right full forward pocket. He knows he can't kick it straight and accurate and through, so he looks for Ebert. This could be Lux of Fortune as it's picked up here by Phil Harrison. He's kicked it out of play on the full, and that's not disciplined football. But they are still leading at the moment by a behind, and 14.5 minutes are gone by.
Well, what a great game we've got on our hands again. 2 in the one night. We saw the Warriors get up by 1 point, and now just 1 point separating these sides.
Big Neil Hine has been paid the mark on the half-back flank. Has Scanlon, the running player. His high kick towards centre wing. Thumped away by Darren Smith. The attendance, 15,375 here at Football Park, witnessing 2 superb games of football. It really has been great football in the 2 games tonight. Comes towards Lachlan. The loose ball, Ebert been quiet tonight. Very quiet indeed. Back to Lachlan. Thomas, who kicked Norwood's last goal. Gallagher, well, that's it for him. Craig Ebert is in trouble, run down by Thomas, and the ball out of play.
It's amazing how luck can change a game. If that ball had sat up for Phil Gallagher, as it, on most occasions it would have, Norwood would have been deep into attack by now. But as luck had it, it went the other way, and Gallagher was left lamenting. Norwood trail by 1 point. We're 15 minutes and 45 seconds into the last quarter.
Back into play, Bakers across there. Picked up by Bradley, away he goes the sprinter, charging down ground, a beautiful long raking kick in towards Evans, knocked away there by Balme. Oh, well played, Craig Balme. Superb performance. Got the hand pass across, the whistle is gone, and he's going to get a free kick. That's some performance from this fella.
And Elbows, listening to that crowd, they love it at the moment. It's tremendous stuff. The big crowd here at Footy Park, 15,000, really showing their approval of a magnificent game of football. Into the forward pocket. Curtis there, but the ball out of play and a throw-in will take place. David Darcy, what a great game of footy.
Yes, and what great strength by Norwood. They've fought back. Port Adelaide, whichever side loses this, will be stiff to lose it. It's been a great exhibition of footy.
Ball on the ground. The opportunity now for Port Adelaide through Kennedy. David Payne is battling for possession of the ball. The little youngster. This will test him out. He hasn't, second year of league football is always the hardest. He hasn't kicked a goal so far. The ball is in his area. Michael Adey brings it down. Payne going in and tackling. Dropping the ball by Brett Owens. And that'll be a Norwood free kick. It'll be taken by Scanlon. Off the left half forward, right half forward flank. He drives it down towards the square. Pack sets itself behind. No one can get it. Bursting their way through is Curtis. Oh, well played, Stephen Curtis.
And it comes. There's an opportunity for Edwards. Overruns the ball. Allows McIntosh in. The crowd lifting here at Footy Park. Down goes McIntosh. A loose ball. McIntosh again to his feet. Superb balance. A handball away, holding the ball.
Tried to do just a little bit too much on that occasion, as we see an altercation again with McIntosh in it. McIntosh and Harrison it is on this occasion. But McIntosh just trying to do that little bit too much, and he's been pinged for holding the ball.
Harrison, he must have more courage than brains. Fancy tackling McIntosh.
Here's the kick across goal. Taken beautifully, however, by Port Adelaide. They run it clear. Brendan Owens, that awkward kicking style, puts it back towards centre half forward. Socket off the ground. In they go strongly. Down they go. Kelly gets it out wide. Hellier to Balme. Balme in trouble on the ground. Gets pressured by the Port Adelaide machine. All met very heavily and very high was a Port Adelaide player in Lawson. Owens comes away with the ball. Kenny steady. Puts it back in towards centre half forward. There's going to be collision. Oh, Gallagher. Beautiful stuff, Gallagher.
Who said Philip Gallagher doesn't have courage? He's got heaps of it, and I know what I've missed in the summer season. It's been the footballers. It's taken around the outer side of the oval, taken by Keith Thomas, down towards McIntosh. McIntosh can't control the ball as yet, but I bet he will. He's tackled by Curtis, dishes out the hand pass, it's lost, and this is grand final stuff, and it's only the second game of the year. Oh, this is unbelievable. Down grounds it goes towards Smith. He can't control it. In comes Thomas. Thomas's long shot goes in towards the goal, and they've hit the front doorway.
What a magnificent game we're seeing here at Football Park, and look at that crowd. Don't they love it? Football's here in 85, and we've seen two great games, and David Darcy, great courage. Look at Neil Barnes. He's smiling.
Well, indeed he is. In fact, it was Payne that kicked the goal, and it all started from Philip Gallagher. Here it is again. Smith went down. Payne grabs it. Now watch Roberts shepherding in the square. Good work by the skipper. He's very, very pleased, but tremendous work earlier by Gallagher. The score, Port 7-15, Norwood 9-8.
Port Adelaide back into attack towards full forward. Craig Evans got it. What a goal! What a game! Ian Aiken.
Unbelievable performance, to be perfectly honest. I just had a big smile on my face. I thought, well, Norwood have got this game won. It wasn't a smile for any personal reason. It's just the fighting character of Norwood, but there it is. And that explains it, doesn't it? The Magpie. Craig Even urging his players on, up point the difference, and Port Adelaide are on top at the moment.
Absolutely fantastic. What better start to a football season could you possibly have than what we've witnessed here tonight?
Down goes the bounce. Darren Smith, what a crackerjack he's played tonight. Out they go again. This is Owens coming along the centre wing. Finds Rowan Hellier. Good, strong work. Alan Gill there, the man on the mark. But it's Rowan Hellier with the football now. 20 minutes into this final term. 21 minutes plus time on. Young Smith. Gee whiz, he's impressed me tonight. He's played a top goal.
A fine young player, going to be a great player of the future. Ian Aiken.
The ball is on the half-forward flank. It comes off hands Ebert, who was mentioned by a previous commentator that he wasn't having a good night. He's right, but he's always there when you have to be there. Phil Harrison's kicked a goal, and he might have kicked another one. If it turns left, it's home, but it's not. It's through for a minor score.
Brilliant defensive work by Justin Scanlon. Harrison's left foot step, and that dear old lady is as excited as we are up here. Craig Balme now brings the ball back into play. Finds Fosdyke. Fosdyke settles it at half-back. Into attack go Norwood again, in front, and a good mark should be played to Vardeniger, and has been. Well, can Norwood come back? 21 minutes gone now. We're playing just time on, and Norwood trail by 2 points. Vardeniger around, steadies, chips in short, just over the head of Gallagher. In goes Smith for Port Adelaide. Out comes Payne. Here's a chance for Lachlan. Lachlan shoots a goal. Oh, miraculous Leslie.
Martin Leslie, the last line of defence, and he was as cool as a cucumber. And look at that girl, she's not so as cool as a cucumber, is she? Oh, gee, the Windies are exciting, there's no doubt about that, but this leaves them for dead as Bradley's in the back pocket. He's in the last line of defence, a short little kick forward, looking across there for Harrison. Down to the ground it goes, ace, that's why he's a champion. Another one to Roberts. Here's the opportunity to Lachlan to Greg Thomas, and a magnificent stunner. Tim Ginniver, you're a champion.
Well, this is certainly grand final football. There's the big fella, Neil Balme.
Sphinx.
He's still smiling. Most unusual. This game worthy of a grand final. Over the top went Roberts. He's given away a free kick. Port Adelaide to take the free kick. It'll be Craig Ebert, the last line of defence, taking plenty of time. Port Adelaide by 2 points. 22 minutes into the final term. Over the top of the pack. Wait on the umpire. Is he bringing the ball back? Yes, he is. 22.5 minutes into this final term. Port Adelaide 8 goals, 16-64. Norwood 9-8-62.
Player in trouble for Port Adelaide is Darryl Borlace. Away go the Magpies again, out of trouble. The kick to the outer side. Vardeniger from behind takes it at the second attempt. Gallagher, here's Michael Annies, the centre half forward. He won't get the distance, but it's into the square. Can Norwood convert? In the air goes the ball. In goes Edwards. Out it comes. Lachlan's there for Norwood, but there's been a free kick picked out, and I think you find it's going the way of Port Adelaide as that player leaves the ground for Port Adelaide.
Well, ace it is. It's off the ground, and that's bad luck because he's been a fine contributor tonight with 2 goals too. But the action, the attention at the moment is in the last line of defence as Port Adelaide bring it away to Tim Ginniver, who must be very close to being the best man on the ground. He really has a spark, an excellent night. Kick number 14 is on its way down towards the centre wing. Going up over the top is Harris. That's a superb mark, and that's the siren. So the final scoreline is Port Adelaide have won it. 8 goals, 16-64 to Norwood. 9 goals, 8-62. That's 2 points the difference. Really has been a spectacular night of football, Ken, when the first game was a point victory to Woodville and a 2-point victory tonight to Port Adelaide.
Ian, has been champagne football. It's a pity when we see a game like that. There has to be a loser, because that game tonight was certainly worthy of a grand final. The fitness of both sides was tremendous. The commitment of both sides was absolutely fantastic. I've never seen a game so early in a season, so high in standard and so strong physically. It was a magnificent contest.
Well, it certainly was, and Rick, you really have got a fair way to go yourself personally, haven't you, when you think about the fitness level of those guys out there?
Yes, you're certainly right, Ian, but I thought that Port Adelaide were the fittest side on the day, and I thought that young Jennifer's desperate effort in that last, when he blocked young Thomas's kick off the boot, just showed the desperation of the Port Adelaide side.
Well, it was a typical encounter, there is no doubt about that, and I know what I've missed in the summer, Ken, and it's been this football. There's no doubt about that. That really was a superb performance.
Well, you're right, Ian, and if that's the brand of football we're going to see right to this forthcoming season in 85, then certainly the crowd, over 15,000 people here tonight, we're going to get bumper crowds in 85 so far as footy is concerned. Rick, the fitness of both sides was the one thing that impressed me. That game tonight had the physical attributes of a grand final.
There's no question of that, KG, but I think you always also got to remember that Port Adelaide and Norwood are traditional rivals, and I think that this also helps, especially on a night game. It's very good to come into their first game in the cold conditions, or the conditions of the night, and I think that this also helped but it was a fantastic game. There's no two ways about it. Like the grand final last year and the night game that Port Adelaide and Norwood played, it's just that they love to play one another, and it was played in the true spirit of the game tonight.
Well, I think that win tonight, Ian, keeping in mind that Norwood beat Port Adelaide in last year's grand final, that win tonight psychologically will have a great effect on Port Adelaide.
Yes, I'm sure it would. And when you look at Port Adelaide's performance, what their final score was 8 goals 16, and Tim Evans only kicked 1 goal 3 out of that performance. So it was an excellent game of defensive work by Balme.
Well, whatever you do, don't leave us. We'll take a short break and then come back with more action from Football Park.
Not bad for a practice game, big job. Yeah, exactly. You used to have fucking Norwood and Port play a practice game.
I don't think I want that. You'll have to, no. All right, you'll have to give me the cue in and out, that's all. Okay. We are live, mate, that's all. All right.
After a break, we'll come to you.
Where do I go to?
30 seconds, you can throw back to them upstairs.
AG or just...
Here we go. Just wait. 10 seconds. Here we go. 5 seconds.
Well, Russell, football's certainly back, isn't it?
Yes, I think the season started, Dave.
Back with the Thunder.
Jeez, I reckon.
Marvellous.
Yeah. Well, when have you ever seen a Norwood and Port game that sort of isn't a real good contest wherever we are on the ladders?
Indeed.
So that's what footy's all about, I think.
Russell, you've had a number of players out, players of the type of Johnson, Clifford and others, many players out. And to beat Norwood the way you did showed a lot of character.
Yeah, well, I think we had 7 of the grand final side out, and Norwood had a number of theirs out too, experienced players, so we gave the young lads a chance on both sides, and I think they were the difference in the game, I think.
Great conditions. Obviously, you've done a lot of work in the summer. You've prepared for the season.
Oh yeah, we've done a lot of work, a lot of thinking about last year and where we were successful and where we weren't, and I think that sort of showed in both sides tonight.
It must have been a great it will be a great psychological advantage for the Port Adelaide Footy Club after the grand final. There must have been a low, and now to come back and beat Norwood in the first time that you played them, it should lift and will lift, I'm sure, Port Adelaide.
Well, I think it sets the pattern for the contest to come, and as I said earlier, whenever do you see a Norwood and Port game that isn't sort of like that, and we respect each other's ability, and there's great pride in both clubs, and I think it showed out tonight. One of the areas that perhaps you lacked in last year was in the roving department. I thought Marnie's game tonight, and Ginniver particularly, was fantastic. Well, I think Timmy Ginniver, he's worked the hardest of most of our lads on his sprinting, and I think tonight he showed that he's picked up a yard. The track was firm, and he showed he's picked up a yard, and young Wayne's learned a lot from last year. So yeah, we got a couple of good prospects, so have Norwood, and it all goes well for a good season. Evans held. Mark Lawson in on a half-forward flank, very strong, very, very strong. Looks a great player. Yes, well, I think Timmy Ginniver tonight with his head over the ball, and Mark Lawson and Craig Ebert with his head over the ball and contesting on the ground. I thought that's really where we sort of controlled and nullified a bit of their run. How are the legs? No problems. All right. They're still there. Still carrying me. Another long season ahead? Oh, yeah. They'll stand up all right? Every season's long, and you just play while you enjoy it and while you're making a contribution to the side. Well, Russell, it was a magnificent game. Thanks for your contribution. Port Adelaide to the start of the 1985 season. Just fantastic. Well done. Thanks very much, Dave. Thanks for joining us, Russell. Leave it now back to our commentators.
Thanks very much, David. Yes, and we've discussed how marvellous it was, but I really do think, Rick, that the significant part of the night was the fine form of Martin Leslie and Ben Harris. They really were the two that did the job.
Certainly did there, Ian, and after the first quarter, when Neville Roberts and Neil Button each kicked 3 goals, I don't think they got a smell of the ball, and it's that defensive play of Port Adelaide, the desperation, and we saw all through the game the way they went at the ball was a credit to the side.
David, when you look at David Mackay, when you look at the half-forward line of Norwood, young David Payne kicked a goal in the dying stages of it, but other than that, they didn't get a lot of drive across there.
Well, I said to you earlier in the night that he was going to be a player of the future, and I think you can mark him down in your books as one with outstanding potential. Perhaps later in the day, he was taken out of the game a bit, but he showed with a bit of brilliance that late goal that could quite easily have snatched the game for Norwood. But he's got real talent, that boy, and there's a lot of youngsters out there tonight that really do. Ginniver is one for Port Adelaide, who is only a young fellow but is already showing his outstanding ability. So too is Marnie. He had a big night tonight with 16 kicks and 2 handballs, and that's a very good effort early in the season.
What about the clash, Rick, between the centre, McIntosh and Bradley? How'd you see that?
Well, I thought that McIntosh played a fantastic game. We always said, I heard you during the commentary saying that he puts his body right over the ball. He certainly did that, and he's going to be a real champ this year. A young, who was it that he was on? Who am I thinking of? Young Bradley. God, I'm getting it mixed up. Young Bradley came into it. Yeah, that was the excitement. He came into the game towards the end of it and showed what a real champ he was.
I think Ricky really put them back in the game. It was his drive from centre. He gradually, bit by bit, got on top of here we go again. It's been an exciting night, hasn't it? We're all a bit tongue-tied, but he really got on top of McIntosh late in the game, and it was his drive that really put them there. I think McIntosh dominated the first half, and it shows you what a champion he is to come back like that, Bradley.
Well, it certainly was, and after this break we'll be having more football from Ken Cunningham.
Can we sign off from here, okay?
So what do I say? So hope we enjoy the game.
Yeah, just good night. Very quick good nights. Okay. Then we'll roll some credits, okay? Yeah, sorry, Craig. Just stand here. I might get a bit of a profile over the shoulder. Over the shoulder, yeah. Right. That right? Yeah. Just like wait for the ball just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, about a minute and a half, guys.
Martin Wesley sort of stopped Rocky a bit too, didn't he?
Hey, David. Listen, Paddy, your head though, your head puts me off. You defunct farmers are all the same.
Okay, 1 minute.
Will they throw to me if not there?
No, coming straight up out of the break to you.
I say Neil Balme.
Straight up out of the break. Do this, and then I'll give you a wine to sign off. Okay. Nice. First game by us.
Do you want me to turn around and say good night?
Yeah, why not? Okay. John, are you going to zoom in on Cam when he does that? Tonight. I don't know. He hasn't said. Okay. We'll just be ready for that anyway. From here.
Yeah, no worries.
About 30 seconds.
Just keep talking about me.
There we go.
Good for the people at home.
Oh, top game, yeah.
Two games,
15,000 people. Yeah. It's excellent, yeah.
20 seconds.
Attention please. Mrs. Brown of Albert Park.
10 seconds, 9.
Last week, the third quarter.
7, straight over the break. Here we go. 5 seconds.
Welcome back to Football Park, and I'm talking with Norwood coach Neil Balme. Neil, the loss of the game, it was a magnificent contest. Was it your third quarter?
I'm sure it was. I guess we expect to be right on the job from the very start, and lazy third quarters like we had, where we just didn't really try anything. We just kept kicking the ball to the same place and didn't show any imagination at all, and we're just a bit lazy, wouldn't pick up.
What about the move of, or the tightening of Martin Leslie on Neville Roberts after his magnificent first quarter?
Oh yes, Leslie's a very good player. I think maybe he's a bit wasted in the back pocket, but he certainly did fairly well on Neville in the end.
What were the positive things that come out of the game so far as Norwood were concerned?
Oh, it was a terrific workout. I thought, even though it was a short game, we ran the game out. We used our 22 players, which was what we aimed to do at the start. I thought the players who haven't played for a year or so did a few things. Andrew Ace did a little bit, Rick Neagle did a bit, Mike Taylor did a bit as well, so it's quite good really.
What about the rucks? How did you see your rucks tonight?
Well, Hawley didn't do much. He had a slight sore hammy or whatever. I thought Heine was pretty good around the ground, and not bad, but perhaps didn't get close enough to the ball a few times.
I was most impressed with young Craig Kelly tonight. I felt he played particularly well.
Yes, he didn't have big players to play on. He only had Anthony Williams and Russell Ebert most of the time, so it didn't really tax him in the air, but I thought he was quite good. He's very quick, very strong.
Craig McIntosh, of course, continued the great work.
Oh, yeah, I think he likes playing footy a bit.
He's a courageous little bloke, isn't he?
Yes, he enjoys footy and he works very hard.
Neil, I was most impressed with the fitness of both sides. Seeing it was the first game of the year, the fitness of both sides was absolutely magnificent tonight.
Yeah, I think because they're shorter quarters and 22 players or whatever, it makes it a little bit easier for them. But no, they ran it out. It's only February 22nd, I suppose.
What about Michael Taylor?
Yeah, he's been a little bit crook. He's had a bit of a virus, so we didn't want to play him the whole game, but he started to pick up the pace after a while.
So it's going to be a big year for Norwood in 1985?
Well, yeah, I hope so, yeah.
Well, Neil, good luck and a great game tonight. Certainly entertain that 15,000 people who are here at Footy Park.
Thanks.
Talking then to Norwood coach Neil Balme. Well, that takes us out from Football Park. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the first Escort Cup game for 1985. Look forward to your company again next Friday night. Bye, everyone.